the 2004 PBA Miller High Life Masters champion from Baltimore, Maryland, Danny Wiseman.
The current Masters champion has been mastering the hardwood this season. Today, he looks for title number 12.
He finished in first place at the inaugural PBA Tour Trials, making his first TV appearance in 5 years. From Tulsa, Oklahoma, Mike Edwards.
He didn't just finish first at Tour Trials, he owned Tour Trials. He's looking to dominate here today to win his first title in more than a decade.
He is currently ranked 4th in the PBA World Rankings, making his second TV appearance this season. From Titusville, Florida, Jason Hurd.
When you think of Jason Hurd, you think of sick power. With the right mindset today, Jason Hurd could do some serious mauling.
He is 6-0 in television matches, including his second PBA title at last week's BowlersParadise.com Open. From Salina, Texas, Rick Lawrence.
Nobody gave this southpaw a chance out here, so what does he do? He wins! And this week sends out a message to everyone. I'm no flash in the pan.
These are your 4 finalists for the PBA Pepsi Open.
Welcome, everyone, to our live coverage of the PBA on ESPN. Dave Ryan alongside Randy Peterson, along with our entire crew. It's event number 5 on the tour scheduled, and it's 4 bowlers going for the championship. Randy, let's break down the matchups with your brackets.
Thanks, Dave. Semifinal number 1, Masters champion and current point leader Danny Wiseman takes on Mike Edwards, who makes his first TV finals in 5 years. In semifinal number 2, Jason Hurd, seeking his first career singles win, takes on last week's winner, Rick Lawrence, who looks to become the first repeat winner on tour since 2000. Dave?
And our first semifinalists are ready to go. Mike Edwards, 79 events. It's been a long drought. 1999 since you made a PBA Tour TV show. What's it like to be back?
Oh, it feels great, man. I'm ready to go. It's been a while, and I feel great today. I'm just ready to get it on.
How are the nerves?
Oh, great. I'm ready to go. I'm fine.
He is ready. Danny Wiseman, no titles for you last year. You win the Masters to begin our season. Now a chance for a second title already in just 5 events. What's the difference, the start of last year and this year?
Less injuries. You know, last year was pretty tough with my hand and everything. You know, extensive program over the summer. Hand's good, foot's pretty good, and it's time to rock.
He is ready, Randy Peterson. Last time these guys met on TV, 1995, was a great matchup. Erie, Pennsylvania, 278-277 in a shootout. Danny Wiseman won it. We'll see what happens this time.
Lots of money on the line this week. $232,000 prize fund. 40 to the winner, 20 to the runner-up. Big points, 25,000 points for the win. Remember, the winner gets an exemption into the 2005-2006 season. Mike Edwards here because of that total domination at the Tour Trials early in the summer.
What a start for Mike Edwards. Blisters the pocket. And you mentioned in the introductions, Randy, that Jason Hurd throws the ball pretty hard. How about Mike Edwards? That's some heat. Masters champion, Danny Wiseman. That's high. Well, through the nose. 3-6.
And early on, if you watch the ball roll of Danny Wiseman versus Mike Edwards, it's a lot different. You can see Danny's playing a little bit deeper towards the inside part of the lane. Plus, his hand is going around it a little bit more than Mike Edwards. Mike more up the back, more rolling it. He's able to keep it more on line. I think advantage early on, Mike Edwards.
3-pin has got to be added here, so we'll have a quick adjustment. Danny Wiseman coming into this
3-pin, please.
Event. Yeah, he needs a 3-pin to finish the spare out. Number 1 PBA points leader. After winning in Milwaukee, he'll have more than 80,000 points minimum if he even loses this match to Edwards. While we have a minute, let's check in the Baby Ruth Real Deal matchup, Randy.
And check this out. Mike Edwards, 10 pins a game, higher average. But this is what's really unusual. Extremely low spare conversion percentage. Most of the time you see the guys in that 80-85% range. Danny Wiseman, when he didn't strike, struggled with the conversions.
Danny also is the Tour's money leader. 8 straight years on TV. And despite the delay, a fine conversion of the 3-6 spare for his first mark. 16-5 match play record. And a 219.33 average, a 7-game thriller with Tommy Jones in the round of 8. Danny reminding us last night, boy, I started that match horribly. Another ball off the mark for Wiseman. He had a 147 in game 1 of that best of 7 round of 8 match with Tommy Jones before rebounding.
Soft hard.
And again, you can see this ball just kind of spinning as it goes down the lane. It goes high on the right lane, light on the left lane. That match against Tommy Jones, Danny told us last night that he had to move in and play 5th arrow where Tommy Jones was. Ended up coming out victorious.
Wiseman was up 19 pins heading into the 10th frame. Left it open, giving Tommy a chance. Jones left a 9 count after a strike, and Wiseman had the victory. And as Danny reminded us, hey, I backed in, but I'll take it. Anytime you can make a show, a very competitive, exempt feel on the PBA Tour. It's a challenge. Oh, a lucky break, and the 4 almost got tripped there. That was right through the nose, way high for Edwards, who goes right at the pocket.
Mike Edwards again playing further right than Danny, hand up the back, going really straight and direct. Great break there. He could have left the big 4, Dave.
Well, it could have been a disaster for the guy they call Eddie from Oklahoma. Takes care of the spare. Big Oklahoma Sooners fan as we see his trip to the TV show. 229.70 average for him. Wins over Voss, Mr. 300 Bob Learn Jr. in 5. And what a wild match that was against Hugh Miller. 7-game round of 8. Hugh had only to mark in the 10th to win it, left a split. Edwards had to mark and ended up converting a 10-pin and got himself the victory. Big strike there. Mike Edwards thought it was over. Hugh Miller just needed the mark, and he was going to lose in the round of 8 again.
Well, yeah, and it did come down to the last ball in the 10th frame. As you see, Mike Edwards, this one's dead flush perfect. But let's not forget, the last 2 out of 3 weeks, Mike Edwards has had epic battles with Brian Voss. This week, no exception.
The adjustment works. Maybe straighter at that pocket is better.
Absolutely, Dave. You heard Danny Wiseman say it. Let's try straighter and see what happens. And a ball change.
TV comparison, you see the numbers. 11 titles. Mike Edwards, folks, has been on tour a long time. 22 years. He went 12 years between winning his first title and the start of his career, then another 10-year gap. He's trying to win number 2. Back on the show for the first time since '99. Wiseman has had a lot more success, and he's made the proper adjustments. And as he pointed out to us, Randy, last night, he is, in his words, an extreme technician of the game, constantly working on his layout.
Well, working on layouts, working on form, working on releases, working on a number of things. That's why he is as great as he is. He's versatile. You heard him say, let's change balls, let's go straighter, in only the 3rd frame of this game.
Oil breaks down a lot differently with the TV lights. Edwards, a little double wood there. A 2-8. Again off the mark to the pocket. One career championship came in 1994. Markham, Ontario, Canada. The PBA IOF Foresters Bowling Championship. And Mike telling us he remembers it well. The feeling of winning. Despite the fact it's been so long. Nice double wood pickup there.
I remember it well. I was there along with a couple other Mike's.
Nick, I made it for you.
A couple other Mike's close friends. We stuck around and waited and watched Mike bowl the show. We were there, and Mike had been so close throughout his career, and it was just great to not only have, watched him win, but being there and actually being able to share it with him as well.
His mom and dad, Jim and Jean, watching back home in Tulsa. Mom just too nervous to make the drive. It's only about 4 hours. Big strike for Mike Edwards, but she gets so nervous watching him compete in person, she thought it was better to stay home in Oklahoma and watch it on ESPN today instead. Come on.
Here comes the can opener, just shreds the rack in half. That strike there. Mike Edwards going at a Dutch 200 and only trailing by 7.
Turkey ball try here for Wiseman to go up 17 pins. And to the midway point of this semifinal.
Look out.
Wow, that was way off.
On the words of Bob Uecker, Dave Ryan, just a bit outside.
I mean, how often do you see a PBA pro of Wiseman's caliber, any for that matter, miss the head pin?
Rarely, if
1,
ever.
2, 4. I mean,
Rarely,
it's
if
probably just been a couple times in 3 years of working with you here on ESPN. We've seen that.
Well, last year we saw Walter Ray do it once, which is
just as shocking.
Yeah.
And he knew it. An open frame for Danny Wiseman. Upon release, he wasn't happy, Randy.
Back-to-back mistakes, something that you'll rarely see Danny Wiseman do. And Mike Edwards takes the lead sitting on the bench.
So we won't have that shootout type incredible number we mentioned at the start of this match, the 278-277 battle in Erie. Back in '95, Mike Edwards said before the match, boy, there were 5,000 people there. It was an awesome environment. Getting some late help, paralyzing 5 goes down late. He'll gladly take that break. When we return, Randy and I will break down this week's oil pattern and talk about the incredible story with Rick Lawrence. And we'll finish up this semifinal. Who will take it, Edwards or Wiseman? We'll find out. ESPN is brought to you by Pepsi. By Dexter, the #1 bowling shoe in the world. What's your size? And by Miller High Life, to live simply, proudly, boldly, manly. This is the High Life. It's the 14th time the PBA Tour has been back to Wichita, Kansas. And the Wichita Wheat Shocker bowling team is here, one of the tops in the nation, led by their head coach, Gordon Vatican. We welcome them. Welcome, everyone. Wichita, Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson, our great crew here. Live coverage of the PBA continuing here on ESPN. Incredible story. Cinderella story with Rick Lawrence, who wins last week, defeating Walter Ray Williams Jr. en route to his first title since '99. And most people thought, well, great victory. Maybe he'll just got to sit on that for a while, but he's back on the show again.
Yeah, nobody really gave this guy a chance out here. He barely made it to the all-exempt field. He got that exemption from the very last tournament of last year. But, you got to give this guy kudos. I mean, he took advantage. Call it divine intervention if you want, against Walter Ray last week, and then he crushes Brad Angelo. And instead of resting on his laurels, guess what? He's back here this week. You really got to give him a lot of credit.
All right, time for Crocodile Randy to break down the oil again. It's pattern C.
Scorpion pattern, Dave. This week, Scorpion pattern, 41 feet of the slick stuff. Rick Lawrence is going to have to play a little bit more angle this week than he did last. And you see the guys on the right side, they're trying to burn up a spot in the track area and then somehow try to throw to that. Early on struggles. When the lanes quiet down, I think we're going to have high scores like we did all week long. And remember, when a Scorpion gets cornered, he strikes.
Thank you, Crocodile Randy. You see the averages last year on this pattern. That is pattern C a year ago, 206.31 this year. TV average way up. Left and right lanes. Great start left side, certainly, for Mike Edwards.
And the scoring pace on all of our patterns in general this year, much higher than last.
Max score here for Mike Edwards is 260, folks. He's up 8 pins. Chance for an 18-pin lead with a strike. You'll have it. Shreds the rack in style. Up in here.
I've always been a big advocate of when the lanes get a little goofy, straighter is greater. Mike Edwards with the high hard one right here. That ball is dead flush perfect. He now takes an 18-pin lead.
To us, Mike calls himself a tweener, somewhere in between the big hook and coming straight at it. But today, it looks like he's going right at that pin.
He's more on the firm side of tweener. I agree with that. but he likes to throw it hard. He likes to bring the heat.
7th frame. Turkey ball chance here. And boy, would Mike Edwards like to be in that list. Tour exemptions. How did he get here this year? The Summer Tour Trials, June. Got him this far. Oh, late help. Messenger takes out that pin late. A big strike.
Well, check this out. This ball is going to be high. High flush. Solid 9. A little trip out there. Mike Edwards now has a 3-bagger and a 28-pin lead.
Wiseman works on a strike. Chance to reduce it to 18 now. You see the difference. Average in the wins and losses. That's high again. Look out. Oh, through the nose.
Sweet.
And a disastrous split. 4, 6, 7. And Danny is puzzled.
Too bad there.
Yeah, he's puzzled because he's getting a little goofy ball reaction on this right lane, and that's why, again, I think advantage Mike Edwards. He can go much straighter and much harder.
Well, he'll take the lesser of two evils there and grab the 4-7.
Good shots.
But leaves the 6-pin, a second open frame, and now the deficit balloons to 40 pins. He'll take a minute here, take a re-rack, anything to gain his composure. Edwards working with the turkey and a chance for a 4-bagger. Next week, we'll see who wins in Denver. That's where the PBA Tour is headed. Exclusive coverage of the PBA Tour continues. Lakewood, Colorado, outside of Denver. We are bound for the Rocky Mountains, the Denver Open. It all starts right here at 1 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. For more, log on to ESPN.com. That's light.
And if I may say, Danny Wiseman made the wrong choice. He's got a terrible ball reaction. Very unlike Danny Wiseman, but you know,
about guessing. Bad guess.
It happens to the best players out here week in and week out. In a one-game match, Dave, you have to make all the right decisions.
Anything can happen, right? Another High Life Masters champion this year was going for a 12th title. Does take out that 5-pin in that spare. Covers all 4 nicely. But to see a head pin and a 5-pin remaining from a PBA Tour player at this level on TV, same game, that's shocking.
When you don't have a good ball reaction, that's what happens.
Exactly.
When you have a good ball reaction, ball stays on the 1-3 pretty much every shot.
Folks, Mike Edwards has been handed a gift here. Look, gift wrap, but look out, that's way off.
Yeah.
And speaking of head pins up again, 1, 2, 4. Stand.
And right now, Mike, all he has to do is fill frames, meaning marks, and he flags the head pin. So early on, tough lanes, tough lane conditions, and some jitters, I think.
Wiseman's not going to give up. He's going to make some adjustments here. Seeing a potential open frame. But Edwards does cover nicely. He's got 9 people watching, a little watch party going on in Tulsa, including his buddies Parker and Jay. We're down the road in Tulsa, Oklahoma, watching closely. 1 career title got by Pete Weber. It was way back 94 in Markham, Ontario, 203 to 192.
And to think that somewhere down the road last summer, this guy thought about quitting the tour, only to come back and bowl on television. It's a great story.
An amazing story, Randy. He left the tour for 7 weeks last year after a disastrous start. His first show since 1999 comes today, and not only did he take a lead in running high to the Tour Trials in June, he blasted the competition. Wasn't even close. Back to Wiseman, who just can't find the ball reaction, folks. He's so out of whack. He just knows it.
Well, he tried in between. He tried going straight. This shot, he tries to hook it. And Dave, quite honestly, you would have had a better chance striking.
I'm not so sure. Now, later in our show today, we're going to see Chris Barnes and Lonnie Walchek on our skills challenge shoot left-handed
yesterday morning.
And I'll tell you what, they shoot much better lefty than I do. And I'm left-handed, and they're not. Well, our PBA points leader has lost this one to Mike Edwards. He is off to the championship match.
We'll use them all.
Danny telling us last night, yes, I've had great success. My second show in the first 5, but I'm staying humble. Not trying to think about getting too far ahead of himself. In 96, 99, and 2000, he made 5 shows those years. But this is the best way to stay humble, I think, for a guy like that. Just one of those tough outings.
Yeah, he seemed really poised and confident last night, but not overconfident. And again, you know, in a one-game match on television, lane conditions, this choice, that choice, a lot of times it does come down to a guessing game. However, you got to make an educated guess. Danny Wiseman guessed incorrectly today.
Hey, I saw 140 yesterday morning, so.
Well, he's right about that. That's we mentioned the start of some of his match play events.
Don't like
he had real trouble. That was a 147 against Tommy Jones, the round of 8. He eventually won it, though. We are fast-tracking to the end of this one, folks, because it is over.
Michael.
Get it.
You heard Danny Wiseman.
Eddie, best of luck.
Yeah, and you heard Danny earlier say that he didn't like him. He didn't like him fresh, meaning he didn't like the fresh lane condition. Remember, the players only get 15 minutes prior to going on air, 15 minutes of practice.
Come on, what are you
Let's try something. Oh, man.
Go get him, man.
Yeah, below 3. One down, baby.
1 down and 1 to go for Mike Edwards.
Magic.
Jason Hurd, Rick Lawrence are up next, and the winner of that match will take on Mike Edwards for the PBA Pepsi Open Championship from here in Wichita, Kansas. That is coming up. And as we mentioned, some former wheat shockers are here, and they're involved in our skills challenge. We can't wait to see that too, right? Coming up next, you will not want to miss the Miller High Life PBA Skills Challenge. A couple of former wheat shockers, Ronnie Waldcheck and Chris Barnes, going head-to-head. This is going to be fun.
I'm scared.